This is our second video on finding the area of composite figures. So this is part 2. First one, we kind of took figures and kind of broke them up into smaller parts, found the area of them, added them back together. This video, we're going to kind of take a different tactic to find the area of our polygons. But same learning target, same I can statement. We're just going to go about solving the problem just a little bit different this time. So go ahead and get your page started. All right, so here's how we're going to tackle today. Sometimes it's not about adding two smaller shapes together. Sometimes you need to find the area of the whole shape and then subtract away the piece that's missing. So kind of like the problem that we talked about in class. Picturing somebody with a big cake, somebody came and stole a chunk out of the middle of it, and we want to know how much is left over. So sometimes instead of breaking it up into several small pieces, think of it as one big shape. So take a look at this first one. What if instead of thinking about this hole over here, what if this whole thing was filled in and this was just one giant rectangle? Sorry about my less than straight lines there. Let me fix those here. What would be the area of just that rectangle? Well, to find the area of the rectangle, I want to do base times height. Well, my base, I'm going to have to do a little bit of work. This section here is 12. This section over here is 12. This little section in the middle is the same as this one down here, which is 4. So in order to find my base, I need to combine all of those pieces together to find out the length of the whole thing. 12 plus 4 is 16, plus 12 is 28 meters all the way across. My height is that vertical distance. So look for that right angle between them. So that's 12. So I want to do 28 times 12. Okay. If you're not sure, go ahead and do a multiplication problem off to the side. But we should get 336 meters squared. That's the area of the whole thing. But the problem is, I don't have the whole thing. I got a big gaping hole in the middle of this rectangle. So by finding the area of the whole thing, I counted too much. I need to go back and figure out how much to subtract away for this little section here. Well, this little section here is also a rectangle. It's got a base of 4. So for area, I'm going to do base times height. My height is this distance here, going up and down. But I don't know what that distance is, but I can figure it out. I know that this distance from here to here is 4 meters. And I know the whole distance, top to bottom, is 12. So I just need to figure out what's this other piece so that together they total up to be 12. Well, to figure it out, do a little subtraction. 12 minus 4 gives me 8 meters for this section up here. 8 plus 4 is my total of 12. So I want to multiply times 8. 4 times 8 is 32 meters squared. Now, this piece is missing. So I don't want to add it on, I want to subtract it away because I don't actually have that piece. So 336 minus 32 gives me 304 meters squared. So this time we found the area of the whole thing, pretending there wasn't a hole, found the area of the piece that's missing, and then subtracted it away. So let's try this one together. Again, instead of worrying about this odd shape, pretend this edge and this edge went all the way and it was just one solid rectangle. That should be easy to find the area of. So we start with the big shape. To find its area, we just do base times height. Now, there's several measurements here, so let's make sure we take the right one. The base is the one that measures from end to end. 5 was just this short section. 7 was the distance all the way across. So that's going to be my base. For my height, 7 just went up this shorter side, but I want the full distance top to bottom. So h, my height, is going to be 10. 7 times 10 is 70. Don't leave your answer naked. Make sure to put your answer or your units on there. We're dealing in meters, so it's meters squared. But the problem is I didn't have all of my shape. I was missing a corner of it. So I need to subtract away that little corner that I counted, but that it wasn't really there. Well, that's my small piece. It's a triangle, so I need to do base times height, and then I want to divide it by 2. Well, I need to figure out those measurements. I need that base and that height. So this can be my base right here, this short edge, because you'll notice how these sides meet at right angle. So we know that's our base and height. From here to here, we know it's 5 meters. We know the whole length of it across the bottom is 7. Well, 5 plus 2 meters gives me my 7 meters total. So that short little distance is just 2. Now do the same thing. I know that this distance from corner to corner is 7 meters. I know the whole distance top to bottom is 10. So I want to know what's this shorter distance over here. Something plus 7 gives me 10. Well, go backwards. 10 minus 7 means this little piece is 3 meters. So that's my height. 2 times 3 is 6, divided by 2 is 3 meters squared. Last step, subtract away the piece that is missing. 70 minus 3 is 67 meters squared. All right, so this one I want to see if you can tackle it on your own. Find the area of the big rectangle, and then we want to subtract away the area of the door and the window. Basically, we want to figure out what's the area of the rest of this wall, because we want to be able to paint it. In order to paint it, we have to know the square footage, the area of the wall itself. So, find the area of the big piece, the whole wall. Then find the area of the door and the window and subtract them away, because we wouldn't want to count or paint those in this particular case. All right, so here's my work. I found the area of the big wall, 12 by 15, which is 180 square feet. Then I found the area of the door, it's 8 by 3, which is 24 square feet. The area of the window, 4 times 3, that's 12 square feet. Subtracted those both from 180 and got a total of 144 square feet left over. All right, in this problem it's a little bit different. You'll notice 2 big rectangles. I've got this one here, and then I've got another big shape here. The problem is if I were to find the area of both of those and add them together, this section here would end up getting counted twice. It would be part of the area of the weight room. It would also be part of the area for my dance studio. That section would have been counted too many times. It would have been double counted. So what I do is I find the area of each one of them, but then I find the area of this little piece in between, and I got to subtract it away, so that way it isn't being double counted anymore. So let's give this one a try. First, let's find the area of the weight room. So we want to do base times height. My base is the full length of this side, 28 feet. 14 is just this short little section. I want the whole base, so I want 28. My height is the full distance top to bottom. Not my little 16, because that's just this little section. I want the full 30. So times 30. 28 times 30 is 840 feet squared. Now I want to focus on the dance studio. That's my other big piece. So that's this rectangle here. Again, I want to find its area. So I do base times height. 33 is my base. 42 is my height. 33 times 42. This one I can't do in my head, so I'm going to do a quick little multiplication problem. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Start with the 0 for the second row. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Add it all together. And I get 1,386 square feet. Now, if I were to add those two together, I would get 2,226 square feet. That's the area of those two combined together. But here's the problem. When I did that, this little section, the locker room on this one, ended up getting counted twice. It was counted in my red and it was counted in my blue calculation. So it got counted twice, too many times. So what I need to do is find its area and subtract it back out of this problem so it didn't get counted 2 times. Well, I need to find out its measurements. Okay? So first I need to find its base down here. Well, I know that this section here is 14, and I know the whole thing is 28. So I want to know what's this other section, because something plus 14 gives me 28. Well, if I know, go backwards. 28 minus 14 is 14. So my missing piece there must be 14. Then I need my height going up this way. Well, I don't know yet, but I know that this section here is 16 feet. And I know the whole thing is 30 feet. So to find my missing piece, I just subtract. 30 minus 16 means this one is 14. Okay, that should be feet there. Okay, so I just had to do a little bit of subtracting in order to figure out what each of my measurements was. Now I find my area. 14 times 14. So I'll do a quick little calculation here. 16, 5, start with a 0, 5, 1. I get 196 square feet. That's the area of this section right here. The part that got counted in twice in my calculation. It was part of one shape and it was part of the other, so it got added in twice. So I need to subtract away this 196. So I take my total of 2,226. I subtract away the part that got counted twice. I do a little bar, and I get 2,030 square feet total. So in this case, I found the area of both of my big shapes, but because they overlapped, I had to subtract out that area so that it wasn't counted twice. Okay, lots of calculations, but we got there.